my yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today it is Friday Fun Day, and so I thought since it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're sort of doing that this week as our theme, that I would update this pattern. This was originally called the DTR Cowl. I didn't like the name, so I changed it to Pretty in Pink Cowl and Hood. And you can wear this as a cowl, or you can take it and slip it up over your head and wear it as a hood. This is important for people who are going through chemo, whether it's for breast cancer in pink or some other type of cancer. You can make this cowl in any colors. I also show you at the end of the video how to make this quick little satin ribbon that you can add if you want to. Now this cowl measures approximately 14 inches long, and it is approximately 33 inches all the way around. But it's super easy to add more length and more width if you want to make it bigger. I love the size of it because I think it's just enough to warm you up here and just big enough to slide it on your head. And what I was saying earlier is it's so important to be able to do that, because when you're going through chemo and you lose your hair really fast, your head gets cold. Even in the summertime, that air conditioning can make your head cold if you're not used to having your head bald. And so this is just a really neat cowl, pretty in pink. There it is, with a satin ribbon. Now you can find the complete pattern with pictures on my blog. And as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. To make the Pretty in Pink Cowl and Hood, because of course it can be used as a hood like we stated, you're going to need about 3 ounces of any medium weight number 4 acrylic or even any fiber yarn. You can make this out of a cotton. Make sure you use a really soft cotton, or wool or alpaca or anything that has a really soft texture. Now this yarn, Super Saver Ombre, doesn't have a real soft texture, but I did wash this in the vinegar that I do, where I use a little bit of vinegar in the wash and it softens it right up after it's made. I really wanted to use the pink variegated. All right, and so this one is stitched up using Super Saver Ombre. The color is Jazzy, and it's just, you can see, ombre moving from light to dark and back again. And I really liked it for this project. Like I said, I had used a different yarn for the previous project, and they just don't make that yarn anymore. So I wanted to update the pattern for you. But just because I'm using pink for breast cancer awareness, you can make this in any colors for any awareness ribbon and just for your everyday use. I made another one just using a striping yarn, and it's like primary colors of blue, red, green. You could see that at the beginning of the video in one of those pictures. And don't feel bad, you know, if you just want to make it for yourself or for a gift, it does make a great last minute gift, okay? So you need about 3 ounces of any medium weight number 4 yarn, your H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter, a needle for weaving in, and your scissors. And then I'll explain to you how I made this really simple and easy ribbon that you can add to it if you want to. So we're going to begin by making foundation single crochets. All right, so we're going to begin with our slip knot, and we're going to chain 2 chains. All right, so we're going to go in that second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and just go through that first loop. Then yarn over and go through the other 2. And that's how you do the foundation single crochet. I wanted to use the foundation single crochet because it is stretchier. If you prefer to just chain and then do a row of single crochets, you certainly can. Now you want to make sure you have 99 stitches. All right, so we'll go in that chain that we made, pull up a loop, yarn over and just go through that first loop. Then we'll yarn over and go through 2 loops. Okay, and then we'll do this until we have 99 foundation single crochets. And one thing that you can do to help you keep track of your stitches is to grab your stitch markers. Mine happen to be pink. All right, and so what I do when I'm doing something that needs this many stitches, I will do 10 or 20, and then I'll mark it with my stitch marker. Then I don't have to recount those beginning stitches. All right, so we're going to stitch 99 foundation single crochet stitches. And again, if you do not want to do the foundation single crochet stitches, you can make a chain of 99 stitches, join 99 stitches in your chain, join it, and then place 1 single crochet in each of those stitches. But keep in mind, it's not going to be very stretchy or comfortable for this cowl. That's why I like to use the foundation single crochets. And even if you choose to do the chain method, you can still mark your stitches so that you don't have to keep recounting. All right, so we need 99 foundation single crochets. I have stitched 99 single crochet foundation stitches, and you notice I have my stitch markers. I marked every 10 and then the last 9. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull out those stitch markers. I pulled out my stitch markers, and you want to lay it out so that it is not twisted. You want it to lay flat, and we're going to put the 2 ends together. So we're going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch, and we're going to chain 1. All right, but before we start our next row, there we go, we don't want that getting twisted, we're going to grab our needle and we're going to go ahead and close this gap up here. It's very important. It'll help us keep from getting twisted, and we'll go ahead and close the gap. So we'll just put a needle through there. There we go. I like to make a couple of stitches just to make sure it's going to stay put, and then just weave that in. All right. All righty. And so for round 1, we've made our circle. And you can look at this, and if you decide that it's not big enough around, you want a much bigger cowl, you can add 3 foundation single crochets equal an inch. So you can add more inches if you want to make it bigger. I just really like this size. And one thing you'll also notice is by using that foundation single crochet, you're going to get a much stretchier edge and make it more comfortable to wear. Let's do round 2. We've chained 1, and we want a single crochet in that first single crochet foundation stitch, and then we're going to place 1 single crochet in each of those foundation single crochets, working all the way around Okay, so 1 single crochet in each of those foundation single crochets, working all the way around our cowl. And this is the bottom of our cowl, and we're going to be working around to the top. Right now we're stitching 1 single crochet in each of the foundation single crochets, and we'll work all the way around. And remember, don't twist your cowl. We want it to lay flat. It's a solid tube. I have completed round 2. I stitched 1 single crochet in each of the foundation single crochets around, and now I'm going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now this is where you need to make sure you didn't twist it and that you've got one stitch in each of your foundation single crochet stitches. It should lay nice and flat with our 2 rows there. And now we're ready for round 3. Round 3 is where we're going to learn our new stitch. We call it the DTR, or the double triple stitch. Some people call it the double treble. I like to call it double treble. All right, so I'm going to get some more yarn out here and then we're going to get started. Our chain 5 counts as our first double triple or double treble, or double treble as I call it. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to put 3 wraps on your hook. 1, 2, 3. Don't wrap that too tightly or it will make it a little bit difficult to work the stitch. I always hold it with my finger. All right, so we'll go in the next stitch and we'll pull up a loop. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2. Yarn over, go through the next 2. Yarn over, go through the next 2. Yarn over and go through the last 2 stitches. See how tall that is? And we're going to stitch one of those in each of these single crochets around. So 1, 2, 3, hold it with your finger, go in the next stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really quite fun and it's not hard at all. You just have to remember to put 3 loops on at the beginning. So we are going to stitch a triple double crochet stitch in each of those single crochets. There we go. Working all the way around our cowl. And this is going to work up really fast because of making those nice tall stitches. And it really is quite pretty. All right, so let's place a double triple in each of our single crochets all the way around our cowl. I have completed round 3 stitching a double triple in each of our single crochets. Isn't that just a beautiful stitch? I love how tall it is and how pretty it looks, like it's almost like twisted. Anyway, you should have 99. We're going to have 99 stitches on every row, and if you added stitches at the beginning because you want it longer, every row will have the same amount of stitches. Your single crochet rows and your double triple rows will all have 99 stitches. All right, so we're going to join to that chain 5 that we began with a slip stitch, and we're only going to chain 1, and that's because row 4 we're going to stitch single crochets. So we're going to place a single crochet in each of the stitches around. Now we join to that chain 3, and that's our first stitch. So we want to make sure we put our first single crochet in that chain. If you don't, you'll be off and you won't have 99 stitches. You'll end up with 98 because you're losing a stitch, okay? All right, so now we're going to stitch a single crochet in each of those double triples, working all the way around our row. One single crochet in each stitch around, all the way around, and then we'll join back to our first single crochet. I have completed round 4, which was 1 single crochet in each of our stitches around. And so again, we have 99 single crochets. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue to repeat row 3 and row 4 for 12 more rows, and we're going to alternate every other row. So you'll have the double triple row and a single crochet row, double triple single every other row for 12 more rows. If you want your cowl to be even longer, you can do more repeats. All right, but for the pattern, we're going to repeat row 3 and row 4 for 12 more rounds or rows, alternating every other row. So here I have repeated those rows, and that brings us up to row 16. We have our 2 single crochet rows where we did a foundation row and then a single crochet row. Then we did our double triple single all the way up. And again, if you want your cowl even longer, you can do as many rows as you would like. All right, and so for the last row, we're just going to join to our first single crochet like we've done on every row, and we're just going to stitch one more row of single crochets for a nice foundation row on the top of our cowl. All right, so we're stitching 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets around just to finish off our cowl. There we go. And again, every row has 99 stitches. I have completed that row of single crochet, so we have 2 rows of single crochet on the top and on the bottom of our cowl. All right, so I'm going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch. Then I'm going to go behind and grab that loop and pull it back and tie off to the inside. I like to do that when I can. I think it just gives it a much neater finish on the front. And then of course we have to weave in this end. All right, I'm going to weave this in, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that satin ribbon that I made and how you can make one really easily. I think it does look really nice on the cowl when you wear it. So this pin is super simple to make. You just need a little piece of satin ribbon. I added a little gem, and then one of these that you can buy at any craft store. It's just a brooch pin. Okay, let me give you a measurement on that so you know which one to pick up. Yeah, that one's right at 1 inch. All right, and all you need is your hot glue. So what you do is you take your ribbon and just cross it over, and you put a little dab of hot glue underneath so it holds. Then you put a little dab of hot glue under your gem and push that on. Give it a few minutes to dry, and then once it's dry, you just put your pin on. You put hot glue on the back, press it on there, and it's done. It's a super simple pin. And I made a whole bunch of these when my mom was going through breast cancer, and I gave them away to all my friends. Anyone who came up to the hospital to visit her and things like that, I gave them one of these because I wanted them to remember to pray for my mom and just remember my mom and how she touched their lives. And I think it's a nice addition to the cowl. So our cowl or hood is all finished. It's beautiful. I love this stitch. This double triple stitch with the single crochets is just such a great combination. And I also love the addition of the satin ribbon. You can wear it on it or you can wear it without it. It's just a fun little thing that you can do, super easy and inexpensive to make. And remember, you can do this in any awareness colors, and you can do the ribbon in any awareness colors. All right, and so that's our Pretty in Pink Cowl and Hood.